It's time for another episode of Week's Goal Line Report, WGLR, episode 11. It's August, and we are one day closer.
Yeah. We're very close to the league, just coming back, and we have the Hall of Fame game tomorrow. So that's definitely going to be an exciting watch with the guys starting with Beck and Pickett.
Are you starting to feel the excitement,
Yeah,
the anticipation?
yeah, I'm really excited to see the NCAA as well.
We have been through the desert. The oasis is in front of us.
That's a good reference to my favorite band. Um,
So yeah, we're coming back, and we're going to cover a couple things today.
yeah,
So just like we have the last few weeks, we're going to highlight,
just everything going on with the CFL and EFA.
yeah. And one of the interesting things that's been going on in the NFL is Baker Mayfield, as he has been seeking his extension with the Buccaneers. So I think we'll talk about that a little bit as well.
Pull it up.
So with all that being said, let's jump right into it. Let's go ahead and start with what we've been seeing here with the CFL, the Canadian Football League.
Yeah. So I didn't catch a lot of the games as much as I wanted to, trying to work with the CFL Plus. I did get to work for a bit. We had the first game, which were the BC Lions and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So I do believe this was the first start for the rookie QB for BC, right? With Rourke down. He
He was
actually,
the quarterback from Colorado, right?
I do believe so. He was very good. He carried that team to a 35-19 victory over Winnipeg. And I've been saying this for weeks. Winnipeg, what were they, 4-2? And I said they were not as good as their record. Now they're 4-4 and fourth in the West.
Right, yeah. And the Lions last week 12 points, this week 35. So
Yeah,
big boost there.
I'm definitely excited to see what they can do. But then to the second game, the Alouettes and Red Blacks fought. The first time these guys fought, it was very close. But this time, Alouettes just kicked the dog down 34-13 in a murder. So I do believe we both knew that was going to happen. I said this would be the game of the week. I expected Red Blacks to score a little more. I think some of their guys got hurt. It was kind of a disappointing game. I'm not a Red Blacks fan. That was who I was actually inclined to pick before the season, but I decided not to.
I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah. Um, then for the third game, the Calgary Stampeders and Hamilton Tiger Cats fought. The Stampeders picked up another huge win. I've said this also that the Stampeders were better than their 2-4 record. Now they're 4-4 and third in the West. It seems I've been very like right recently. Um, I've I was the first team I picked to be a fan of were the Tiger Cats, and with Bo Levi Mitchell going down in one of the first weeks, we have been horrible ever since. We had that QB start, and they benched him for Harrison Frost, who is one of my least favorite QBs of all time. I would rather have Jamarcus Russell playing right now, like Russell right now, current physique, everything. I'd rather have him playing. Like, I hate Harrison Frost so much. And then for the last game, we had the Rough Riders and Elks. So you said this was game of the week, like we said the last time these guys fought, and I think we were right. So the Rough Riders pulled off a win, 28-26. So they've split so far.
Yeah,
They've both been the best teams in the league, really. I mean, the Alouettes are definitely up there.
the two best in the West,
Yeah,
and with how close their games have been, it really shows that even between the two of them, it's a razor thin margin. Where if they played 10 times, they might both win five.
yeah. So that was the little recap of the four games, and I believe Toronto was on bye.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So with what you were saying about the Tiger Cats, if you had watched up until this point and then picked a team, would you have still picked the Tiger Cats, or do you think you would have gone a different direction?
I I don't think there's anyone else I would really like. I mean, I don't like Toronto. I've never been a big Toronto guy in any sport really. I mean, I don't hate the Blue Jays. Um, the Red Blacks, I mean, I'm not a big Ottawa guy. I don't like Saskatchewan. I don't like the Rough Riders name or anything with them. I'm not a big Montreal guy either. And I don't like British Columbia very much. So I believe it was really Hamilton, Edmonton, and I feel good about Stampeders. I don't love them, but I like them more than the teams that I do hate.
Okay.
So maybe Stampeders, but I'm not some bandwagon. If my team's losing, I'm gonna stick with them.
Yeah,
So
that's the way it should be. I'm proud of you.
yeah, so I'm still staying with the Tiger Cats. As long as they don't keep starting Harrison Frost every week.
So let's look at next week then, and
Yeah,
well, starting tomorrow, the
the
four
predictions.
games on tap for this week.
So yeah, tomorrow's gonna be a big day with the Hall of Fame game and the game um for CFL, but it kicks off with the Lions and Stampeders. So who do you have winning this?
Oh, I think that's 2 weeks from now. I think next
Oh,
week.
oh my bad. Oh, so it's the Stampeders and Argonauts. All right, that's my fault. So who do you have winning the Stampeders Argonauts?
I think the Stampeders. I think you were right to kind of see that they were a team trending in the right direction. They've been winning games, and Argonauts, even with a week off, I don't know that they're the better team. So I think the Stampeders still find a way to win.
Yeah, yeah, I do agree with that. And then the second game, I do believe we will also agree on this one with Ottawa coming to Regina to face the Rough Riders. So I think it's easy just to leave it off with the Rough
The
Riders kill them.
the Red Blacks are going to win, right?
Dad, you don't have to like play with their feelings or anything.
They we don't want to give them unwarranted hope
Yeah,
just for them to suffer another crushing defeat.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
I'm with you. I think the
yeah.
Rough Riders win.
Yeah, and then the third game, which is definitely game of the week, which I think we both believe, Elks at Alouettes. So obviously I'm going to be rooting for the Elks, but this is definitely going to be one of the best games all season. I mean, I could be completely wrong. This could end like 10-3, but with how good Elks have been against Saskatchewan and
Hmm.
how good the Alouettes have been like every game, I think this one will be a shootout, and it's going to be very fun to watch.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think this is, if you like Canadian Football League, this is the game to get hyped for.
Yeah,
These two, it's Saturday at 3 o'clock, and I think it's really important for the Alouettes because
it should have been
I
a
think
nighttime game. It should have been at 8.
that would be ideal. But the Elks, they've played tougher teams. Like
Yeah.
like you mentioned, they've played Saskatchewan, Calgary. Those are teams that they've matched up with. And the Alouettes, I think, have a little bit easier path in the East.
Because in the West, you have the Elks and Rough Riders who are above 500 right now with their current records, and the Stampeders in Winnipeg who are both 4-4, and then
Hmm.
only one team with below that, and they're on the rise.
Yeah,
And in the East, everyone has a losing record except the Alouettes.
yeah.
So it is definitely an easier division. No questions for me on that. I do think the Alouettes are good though. I just think they have to play in such a bad division. I would match them up with Winnipeg a few times.
But I think the Alouettes playing, I think it's important for them to really see how they do against a bigger challenge.
Yeah, so I am excited to see that. Hopefully they don't just lose by a large margin, because then we just know the East is complete frauds right now. And I wouldn't be interested in that. I really hope we see a matchup like this for the Grey Cup Finals. And then with the last game, obviously it's definitely overshadowed by the game on the same day. I really don't like that they don't have Sunday games. It's probably with the NFL, but
Yeah,
it was definitely lost.
considering that we're only halfway through the season, I think that is part of the consideration is, if you're trying to compete for viewers, that's going to be a losing battle
Yeah,
during the NFL season.
so then, but on Saturday at 7 p.m., the later game, the Tiger Cats go to the Lions. So this is the Battle of the Felines.
Yeah.
And I think this is either going to be a shootout of like 20 plus points each, or it's going to be like lackluster and they're going to be less than 20 each.
Do you think that the performance by the Lions last week was a fluke, or do you think that they can continue to
I
put up more
think
points with the changes?
I think that Hamilton has one of the top three best defenses in the league. And I
So they're going to
think
make it hard.
they're gonna make it hard, yeah. I do think they lose, but this Lions team it definitely isn't trying to hold anything back. This guy wants to prove that he belongs, even though he's a rookie, and I think they have a lot of momentum with the recent wins they've picked up. So I'm excited to see what they can do. But I think that really does it for the CFL.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to wrap it up there. And I think that there's a lot that's been going on in the NFL, and I think we're going to have a little short separate recap that kind of focuses more on that. But for our podcast episode here, I think one of the main things that we thought warranted a discussion was Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. So Obviously, I've chosen my four teams. I've chosen the ones I have my allegiance to: Detroit, LA, Tampa, and Cleveland. And with Tampa being one of my
And when
favorite
you say
teams,
LA, you mean the Chargers.
yes,
Okay.
I'm not a Rams fan. I chose the Chargers. I love their color scheme. I love Herbert. He's the GOAT. Um, but with Tampa, Baker Mayfield, in my opinion, is one of my three favorite quarterbacks. And I'm not saying he's a top 10, even though you could make an argument for it. I just personally love the way he plays. He's always exciting when he's on the field, and he's gonna do whatever he can. He's going to be a hero. Will that make him lose some games? Yeah, for sure. But it makes it so much funner to watch instead of these guys just doing checkdowns all game. But yeah, he's got a fun style, and I'm really disappointed in my team. I'm gonna support Baker Mayfield wherever he goes. I'm gonna support him.
Let,
It doesn't mean I'm gonna change teams or anything, but I will support him.
so let me ask you two questions. Because Baker, he wants a bigger, longer contract. He
Yeah,
wants that stability. He wants that recognition for what he brings to the table. Buccaneers trying to keep salary down, trying to make the best decision for the future of the team. So they're trying to, I guess, figure out if there's a place they can meet in the middle right now. And it doesn't sound like they're very close. But
the
you,
Buccaneers, the Buccaneers, I'll say
right?
this, they have been horrible at keeping their stars. Like you'll probably see this when we do the NFL video later with Vita Vea also wanting traded. They are just so bad right now at protecting their stars, and it is disappointing me. They let Mike Evans go. It's really disappointing me how they've been doing this offseason.
Yeah, they're taking an interesting approach. But the question I have for you, first of all, uh, is when you look at Baker, you look at the team, does he elevate the play of the other players on the offense? Does he make them better than what they are alone? Like the
For
sum.
sure. For sure. There's no way he does not. The confidence and the ability that he has, it just makes anybody, like, that inspires anybody. When you're playing with someone of that caliber, you want to keep up your end of the bargain, and I think that's exactly what they want to do. He really deserves a team that supports him, and I think they do that well while they play. Do they do that well in the offseason? No, not from the looks of it. The team and the coaches and all that, they seem to be failing him, but the players on that field, I think they love him. And like I said, I'm disappointed. I really, it's just, it's insane. He, you can always say if someone's a franchise quarterback or not, but I think he is. I think he is, and I feel like he should be Tampa's franchise QB. You look at these franchise QBs, and they're making like 50 mil a year,
Hmm.
and I think he deserves that. Yeah, he got a contract offer for like 2 years at 100 mil, and people have been saying that it's outrageous he didn't accept it, but I completely understand. He doesn't want the money for 2 years. He wants longevity. He wants to be with this team for a long period of time. He wants to be there as the franchise QB. And
Right.
I agree with him. I feel like it is a slap in the face, and I do think he's undervalued and undermined by the team.
So my next question for you then is, and it sounds like you're going to say yes to this based on what you've been saying so far. My next question is, can Baker Mayfield lead the Bucks to a Super Bowl championship?
I will say that I hope so. The NFC South obviously is one of the worst divisions right now, but it is heating up. You know, Carolina they might be losing some players, but they're building towards the future. The Saints look like an incredible team soon, and Atlanta's Atlanta. But Tampa really does always have a chance to win it, and it's definitely going to be worse next year for them. But if they can keep their stars and get other good players, I feel like if Baker just has people around him, like right now, what's he going to do? Throw to Emeka Ibuka all game? Like Chris Godwin's probably going to be out like half this year. There's no one on that offense. It's him and Bucky Irving. Like
So
he deserves a good team.
yeah, that of course is a factor. Who's on the team with him? Let me ask you this: if he was on the Rams, could he lead them to the Super Bowl?
I mean, yeah.
If he
What he had that
was
game-winning drive that got him to Tampa.
if he was on the Texans or the Vikings, could he lead them to a championship?
Uh, Definitely the Texans. I don't know about the Vikings. They have an intriguing roster. I mean, he definitely has some weapons. I think the defense taking a little bit of a step back.
What about if he was on the Browns?
No, I love the Browns, but at best they make the playoffs.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think that
We don't need another
that
QB
Baker
anyway.
is like a top 10 type of guy. I think he has a lot of the intangibles, one of those guys that is going to leave it all on the field and do everything he can to win. And I think that if he has enough to work with, that he can lead a team to Super Bowl. I think it's if you don't have the pieces in place, it's hard to put it all together. So I don't know how close they are as a team to that coming to
He just
fruition.
has some incredible confidence, and it is undeniable. He's one of the he has got such just he's got so much confidence, like some of the most in the league. I mean, Brock Purdy obviously has more, but Baker, he can back it up. He has the ability to make any team look good, and I love that about him. He is so just he's undeniably gifted at what he can do, and I don't care how many rants he goes on. I don't care how many people says he's not a top 10 because I fully trust in this guy. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I won't stop supporting this man.
So he's 31 now. If you were the one determining the length of his contract, how many more years would you give him?
4 or 5.
Do you think that's what he's looking for, or do you think he wants something longer than that?
I think 5 years is what he'd want. Now I could be completely wrong. I don't know the man myself, but I fully think that would get him somewhere. Like he definitely deserves a long-term contract. And if he doesn't find it in Tampa, I hope he finds it somewhere else because I know looking at the state of this league, so many teams would die for a quarterback of the caliber of Baker Mayfield. Like the Vikings are probably drooling at the thought. Maybe even the Cardinals. And I know you love that.
I would be interested in the possibility. Right now I'm interested in what Carson Beck is
Yeah.
able to do, and I want to see him out on the field. But
Didn't you weren't you angry when they drafted him though? Yeah, I was there, you were.
um,
You can say
I
upset.
well divided as far as my thoughts
They
on
should
it
have just picked
go.
another offensive lineman.
But yeah, there are things they neglected that I wasn't a fan of.
Yeah, yeah, just
But
moving on, I
yeah,
guess. I mean, it's not about the Cardinals.
as far as Mayfield, I think that he deserves like a 5 year contract.
Yeah.
I would be good with that. That seems reasonable. 36 is not
And
crazy.
you could always see an extension.
Like I think that that's good. And then you can determine from there how things go. But I think if you have that kind of stability at quarterback, then you really can build around it. You know, you get him another wide receiver, and then you get him a good defense, and bam, you're a playoff team that's able to win that division year in year out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that we're on a similar accord there. I don't think that the Buccaneers are going to do it though. For whatever reason, I don't think we're going to see that.
I think they're interested in getting a younger team to try and rebuild. And I'll say this. I hope Todd Bowles is fired. I hope he is fired. He deserved to be fired like after last season.
Hmm.
And it is one of the most strange things I've ever seen.
Yeah, as a head coach,
He seems immune.
I think he's been underwhelming. And he was a former Cardinals coach, but I think with what he's done in
Well, yeah,
Tampa
he's
Bay
definitely underwhelming then.
hasn't been exceptional. But I think that covers
Baker
the
stuff.
topic there with Baker.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that we had queued up here was the EFA. Is
Yeah.
that what
Yeah.
we were looking at?
So it did kick off with the Nordic Storm and Frankfurt Galaxy. So I do know who you have your allegiance to, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But do you think do you support Nordic?
Um, I th- I'm okay with Nordic. It's either them or Munich, right? Those are the
Yeah,
two.
those are the two best.
I mean, I guess I would kind of lean towards Munich between the two of them
That's good.
if it came down to that.
All right. Well, the first game was Nordic and Frankfurt Galaxy. So obviously, if you're an NFL Europe fan, like we've said before, Frankfurt Galaxy was an original team in the original NFL Europe. I don't believe any of these other teams are, but the Nordic Storm kicked the crap out of them, 47-9. And I say kicked the crap out of a lot, but it's very true with these murders.
Yeah.
So Nordic obviously picked up a free win. And then the second game, your Paris Musketeers went to my Munich Ravens. And how do you think that affair ended?
I mean, it's not a surprise that Munich won, but in this league, a 20 point, well, 23-point loss, if we're going to be precise, is not the worst. I mean, like you just mentioned, Nordic beat Frankfurt by what, 38?
I mean, it's not the AFLE. I mean, it's not
So,
50 to 3 every game.
so yeah, I mean, yeah, Munich, one of the best in the league. Did they beat Nordic when they played?
Yeah,
So they're undefeated.
yeah, they're undefeated.
So yeah, to show up and at least put some points up, that keep them. I mean, it could have been worse. So
Yeah.
I'll give the Musketeers that.
So, yeah, the Musketeers put up a little bit of a fight, and I do say they have one of the best logos and uniforms in the league. And then in the third game, since you wanted to boost your ego a bit, so then the third game, the Raiders of Tyrol fought the Prague Lions. So Prague, I want them to make the playoffs because it's the big four for the playoffs, and Frankfurt and Paris have been underwhelming. They're 3-6 right now and are both in the playoffs. So I was hoping Prague could get this win and try and get ahead of them, but the Raiders won 41 to 29. So that's not happening right now. So then for the final week of the regular season, Munich goes to Nordic. So we could see the undefeated season end, or we could see Nordic drop their second loss.
So it's going to be the last week.
Yeah, week
Okay.
13 is the last week of the regular season. So who do you have winning that? I know you haven't watched the league very much.
I think that Munich continues that how they've been.
And then the second game, the Frankfurt Galaxy and Prague Lions fight. And I think Prague gets that done. Frankfurt has been very underwhelming as of late. And then the third game, Paris Musketeers and Raiders Tyrol. So usually I'd give this to Paris. I
But
don't know about it. I mean, Raiders just
yeah,
dropped like
yeah,
40
the
plus points twice in a row.
yeah the Raiders have won two in a row.
I wouldn't be shocked if either one won, but I'd give the edge to Paris right now. They have a talented roster.
So in this world where Prague beats Frankfurt and the Raiders beat Paris, all four of those would have the same record, right?
Yeah,
They would all be what?
like 4-6 or 3-6 or something,
Let
or
me
three and
see.
seven.
I just looked at it.
They definitely have been outside of
So
Munich and Nordic.
they would all be 3-7 in that case. All four of
Oof.
them would be 3-7. So
And the
that's
Raiders aren't too
crazy.
far
I'm not
behind.
sure how their tiebreakers work, but that would definitely create
I think it's
an
point differential
an,
and tiebreakers.
an interesting dynamic. Um, but yeah, so definitely some, even though they haven't had the best records, those are important games to determine who's going to be the third and fourth place teams.
So I do believe the championship is held in Frankfurt, so it would be insane to see them miss the playoffs. But I'd give it to Paris and Prague to be third and four right now, because I've just been disappointed in Frankfurt. I mean, they started 2-0, then went like 2-2.
Hmm.
They started like they looked
Yeah.
good, and then they just decided to fall off the face of the earth again.
Yeah, the Raiders, they were 0-7, so it looked like there was no chance. But back-to-back wins and a game this week, all of a sudden they're competing. So it's definitely a lot more interesting than what it looked like it might have been. So yeah, some big.
It's insane because even with there being 6 teams, none of them are eliminated yet. None of them. They're all still in this. Because we could see the Raiders pick up a win and make the playoffs. That'd be insane, but it's still possible.
Is there a way that you're able to see these games? Are they streamed where
They're
you can
streamed on
watch them?
YouTube. They're very early, obviously, with it being in Europe. They're streamed around 7 to 10 a.m., like around those times, any time in those hours. Like I've had to tune in for games at like 7:43 in the morning.
Do those have like the live chats and stuff?
Yeah,
So
and you can also watch highlights for the EFA. And they definitely been edging out the AFLE because AFLE you have to pay to watch live, and the highlights are not as good. But the EFA
okay.
does their work. But then uh, after the regular season ends, the Big Four make the playoffs of the six, which I think is outrageous. It should be three. The top team gets the bye, and the two others fight. But we see four, and that definitely makes it worse for me in my opinion. So number one, which is Munich, fights number four, and then Nordic, which is number two, fights number three.
I think that would be kind of wild to have three teams make the playoffs and one get a bye into the championship game. That would be a pretty wild approach, but it would make it interesting.
I think it,
It would keep it more to the teams that earned it, I
yeah,
think.
I don't think any of these teams have really done anything to earn a spot in the playoffs other than Nordic and Munich. But I think that does wrap up the little EFA stuff. We've definitely been watching it close, and I'm very excited to see the championship game. I think we do both know who's going to make the championship, though.
Yeah, I think that's locked in pretty well. Um, and I think it wraps up most of what we were looking at here. The only other thing that I saw that was kind of interesting today, um, we've talked about the Continental Football League
Yeah,
and the Manny, running it, he's been putting out these little like minute videos. Have you seen any of those?
I haven't.
So he's just kind of
I
been
I check around every week.
but just doing his little bit to promote the league. And I think pretty soon they're hoping to update more on upcoming teams too. But
Yeah,
one thing they announced today was, and we've talked about this a little bit, they want to be a league that is developmental. I think it's a,
yeah,
a huge part of their identity and
like
is
AAA.
it's so important to their success
Yeah,
because I think if they have that part locked in, that there's gonna be more support for it than if you're just like, hey, we're one step above an amateur league with, washed out 35-year-olds, playing for their last, shot at glory. It's we want to develop players and be a launching pad. But in that vein, they've announced that they also want to do that for people interested in like the media aspects
yeah.
of football as well. And so they announced, and you can go to their Facebook page, might be on their website too,
I'll check.
but the Creator Core founding class. And so they posted that they would like to bring in a group of student creators that can earn academic credit through working with the league. Kind of like social media aspect stuff of it looks like, graphics, video, social, and then, standouts could be kept on after the 120 days. So benefits the league and getting help promoting the league and really being a stronger, bigger presence. And then it helps young people get that opportunity, that experience, and be a launching pad for themselves. There's a lot of great football minds out there, young people that are passionate and really want to contribute. And I think this could be the right opportunity for a few people. And it's posted on there. If that's something you're interested in, media@coflfootball.com. Reach out to them, let them know you're interested, and maybe that could be you, working with the league.
This
Uh,
is interesting. I checked the website and they added a few more tabs. They added a tab called Network and a tab called Union Partnership.
yeah, that's definitely something we'll have to check out too. I know that they're in the process of developing it and rolling things out, so sometimes that can be a hint of things to come. So, is that network showing a lot of their games?
Yeah,
Is that
it shows about all their games here.
So even if you miss them the first time, you can go back and check them out, and it's a great opportunity to see. We want to see more from the Continental Football League, and it
Yeah.
looks like they are really focused on that right now. So that's great that they're working towards building something bigger and better. That's really exciting to see.
And they do have some stuff with COFL videos from YouTube. They have six ones right here. Maybe they should do us on there since we love it more than anybody else. And then they have some live streams also from YouTube, I believe. So they got some podcasts on there like Toro Talk, love that one. And they got some COFL videos, which obviously I've watched because I love this league. Hopefully we see us on there. That'd be nice.
Yeah, as we continue to work and grow our page, maybe that can be something where we can network with them and
Yeah,
be a place where they can, where we can interact. That
Yeah,
that would be great.
I'll do some
Um,
interviews.
but yeah, we are excited to see what's going on there. We're excited to see what's going on with CFL, EFA. I know you cover
AF1.
the arena football leagues, and there's some playoffs there. So just
Yeah,
so much going on, and we really want to promote and engage in as much of that as we can. Um, so just join in with us. Let this
yeah,
be something that we can all enjoy together. Like, comment, subscribe, all those things do such a big part in helping us grow. We really want to get up to 50 subscribers here
yeah.
soon. I think we're so close to it. We would love
And
to see that goal hit.
it's also not just about us. I mean, with these leagues like AFLE, EFA, AF1, all these leagues, they also need promoting. They need someone out there, and I mean, they're a little guy. We gotta help them out, and I think we're doing a decent job at promoting these leagues. We don't always pull in the best views with them, but it's always worth a try. And I think the people who are actually dedicated to the leagues will watch, and that's what matters the most.
Yeah, if that's a league that you're interested in, if that's your hometown team, let us be one of the places that keeps you up to date
Yeah,
and helps you support your team, and we'll be in it with you here too. But yeah, I think that is going to wrap it up for what we're looking to cover here today. Just keep checking back our YouTube channel. We're putting out a lot of different things there.
yeah.
We'll continue our season previews. Some NFL chaos, um,
History.
history. Yeah, so much on
Look
tap.
out, look out for the Birmingham video. I do expect to do it soon. Just things got in the way, but hopefully we can see me do that, get that up,
hmm
because
And
continuing the series.
if you're wondering why we didn't mention the UFL today, that's because we put a separate video out already that kind of covered what happened
Multiple at this
with
point.
Houston and Birmingham. And
We
so
also did a
as
Stallions top five places in the Midwest and Atlantic coast.
Yeah, so check those out, and as
Not
more
only
comes out,
Midwest.
we're going to see two new locations for those teams. We're going to see Oklahoma City coming in. We're going to see other things.
It's going to be
So
exciting. It's an exciting time for alternate football, and we love just you guys walking here with us.
yeah,
Usually this time of the year it's dry, but we're here to supply you with the top end of football news, and I think we're doing a good job at it. Hopefully you guys enjoy our videos, but I think that does it.
absolutely. We'll wrap it up there.
All right.